Thank you for listening to the Bad Patches Podcast, Episode 8, brought to you by Meineke. No, we don't have any sponsors yet. So, not much to talk about, just gonna discuss what I did over the weekend since, there was stuff that went on. I finally got a chance to see Deadpool Wolverine thing. Spoilers, I guess, if you haven't seen it. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I don't like the movie that much. I felt like it really was more of a comedy than a comic book movie. And I wasn't a huge fan of the Wolverine and Deadpool fights. They kind of seemed kind of pointless to me. Like, I really enjoyed, obviously, like, Wolverine being there, but for me, I wanted to have like more stakes. I felt like there was nothing. What's the word I'm trying to look for? There was just nothing going on. There was no actual payoff to those fights. Like it's not like Wolverine was gonna win, and it's not like Deadpool's gonna win. But other than that, like the movie's fun. It's certainly entertaining. I'll likely never see it again. My favorite part of the movie is probably the intro, and then the ending credits where they show the clips like of the behind the scenes of them filming the original, X-Men movie, which to this day is probably one of the better X-Men movies between the first X-Men and X-Men First Class. Like those two are for me like the best X-Men movies. I had recently seen it because I was excited to see Deadpool, so I saw I first saw X2 because I liked the scene when they attacked the mansion. That part I love. I feel like that was a very Wolverine fight, and it's kind of I guess what I was looking for, but in an R-rated version in the Deadpool movie. Like in X2, like he's stealthy in the mansion. He kills people with his claws. He does have that cheesy part where he like stretches his arms and flips two guys. That part we can do without, but it was what the 90s or early 2000s when that movie came out. So it's understandable. It has those cheeseball moments, but that scene was pretty good. Like I like that scene. The rest of the movie I didn't care for, so I didn't rewatch it. But after I saw it, I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch like the intro for the first X-Men movie because I like the monologue that Professor X has about how evolution takes a leap, and they show the intro, and I don't know. I kind of felt like watching it, and before I knew it, I was watching the whole movie. And that movie has a very good comic book story. Magneto's trying to convert everybody into a mutant, and I think that's a very, very like comic book themed, plot. And it has really good scenes between Wolverine and Cyclops. Obviously, they went with Halle Berry for Storm, and she does have those famous scenes of, "Do you know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else." You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I have that line memorized, and I've seen those movies many times. But yeah, like I saw that one, and then I got really hyped up, and I was really excited to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, and I was like, it's alright. Like, it had way too much hype for what it was. And honestly, it's just a cameo after cameo after cameo. It's kind of like they were like, how can we make them forget that this movie's kind of pointless? So let's just do a bunch of fan service and we'll go from there. Kudos to Ryan Reynolds, but still, like If I wanted to see Wolverine, just kill people mindlessly, then yes, go watch this movie. If you want to see Wolverine do some cool Wolverine lines and act like what I feel is Wolverine, then watch the original X-Men. But then, obviously, I had that movie experience, and while I was there, I obviously bought the movie tickets online. I picked my seats, and then I had to sit through those first 15 to 20 minutes of AMC's garbage, promos about Numi or whatever with Maria Menounos and fucking that other chick from Australia. I forgot her name. Talk about how much what the movie experience is, and blah blah blah. And then I saw some cool trailers. I remember back when I was younger, like that didn't exist. It was you got there on time, and you got to see the trailers, and then the movie started. I don't remember they did the whole be quiet stuff. But I guess back in the day we didn't have cell phones, but we still needed people to be quiet. So I don't know. That's all I got for that whole thing. But I remember it was a good experience. I remember I got a chance to call the cinema I used to go to check what times or what movies were playing, and then made plans with my brother or my sister to go see the movie. Getting there on time to get the tickets, and then waiting in line for the movie to start to go find good seats. It's all part of a great experience. It's kind of like the whole you don't go rent movies anymore, but for the movies, I'm all for picking your seats, but at the same time, I do miss waiting in line to buy the movie ticket, talking with somebody while you do that, and then trying to hurry up to get your snacks before you go see the movie. But now it's just if you get snacks, you're dropping $40, and that's always painful. But I don't go alone. I go with my wife typically, and you end up spending quite a bit of money on popcorn, soda, and usually you get a little snack nachos or mozzarella sticks, I guess. But yeah, I just thought it would be cool if they do a retro night where you for big movies that you don't get a chance to pick your seats, and they kind of get to go to the experience of the movies like we did in the past. I think I'd enjoy that once or twice, if that's how they premiere movies. I remember going to the premiere for episode 1 with Star Wars episode 1, Phantom Menace, with my brother. I remember going super late, and I remember we got shitty seats, almost near the front. But but still one of my favorite movie experiences. Obviously, Phantom Menace at that time, a lot of people hate on it, including myself. But nowadays, I kind of love it. So yeah, that was that. I also got a chance to see some of my friends over the weekend. That was fun. I don't get to see them that much. Maybe once or twice a month. Or once or twice every other month, I should say. So we had a few beers, played different types of music. I do like to hog the music. We all kind of like similar stuff, but I usually try to play a song or two that are a little different of new bands that I like to see their reaction. And I don't know, they weren't into it this time, and that sucked, but it is what it is, next time I'll get him with a good song. But I usually we'll take a picture of all of us together, and I hadn't been there since, I don't know, maybe March. So I hadn't been there for a while, and I was kind of looking at that March picture and the picture I took over the weekend, and man, have I lost a lot of weight. I thought I had reached rock bottom in March when I saw that picture, but it turns out that my fat body broke through what I thought was the bottom and found a new bottom, you know? So, fuck that. Like, I started walking this weekend, and then I did Monday and Tuesday so far. Like, I'll drop off my kid at school, we'll go for a walk in the morning to do that. So I'm getting a good 40-minute walks, and then I'm trying to watch what I eat. I'm see what happens. You know, I'm currently weighing at 196. My goal weight is a 180 for. I don't have a set date of when I want to weigh this. I just know that that's kind of the weight I want and I would be comfortable with. So we'll see. We'll see. And the other thing I did, and I think I talked about on the other episode, was I made a list of bands that I wanted to go see live. And after I realized that half of them were already dead or had broken up, I made a new list. And yeah, this new list is pretty great. The downside is that about maybe like 8 bands that are the ones that I wrote down, they're all coming in October, November, and I cannot spend that much money on concert tickets because it's not just the one concert ticket. It's gotta be for me and my wife. That's 2 concert tickets. We're talking that most of the time they're like $150 if they're cheap. So I gotta work through to see if I'd rather go see multiple bands or if I want to see the main band. So one of my favorite albums of all time is Good News for People Who Love Bad News by Modest Mouse. It's on its 20th anniversary and they're touring it, and that would be the concert that I want to go to. That is the priciest concert out of the list, but it is definitely going to be like the one that I would enjoy. The only downside to that is that there's 2 people that I know that will likely be there, and I don't want to run into them. So I'm not sure if I'm going to let that like stop me from, you know, enjoying a good show. The other bands, they're around the $50 mark. It's Crumb, obviously Brooks Nielsen, who I've seen multiple times this year, and I'm going to see multiple times in October. I already have 2 concerts for him, but there's another show in Irvine that I want to see. So that's where I'm at. And I said like the other one was going to be Crumb. That's $50. Yasawa Group, which is from the ex-Gravelers guitarist, he's also going to be performing somewhere in San Diego around those months, so I kind of want to make sure that I go to that one. And then King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is doing a show at the Shell that I've also kind of want to go check out. I've heard that the shows there are pretty good. I did get to see a movie there, like when they do those live concerts to the the soundtrack of the movie. I did Empire Strikes Back. That's how I got my kid to go see that movie in the theater. He's seen almost all of Star Wars in the theater. They've kind of re-released them, like the original trilogy he's already seen. And I want to say they released Phantom Menace last year or early this year, and I've also got him to see that one. He's seen him multiple times at home, but I kind of want him to see him at the movies, the way they're supposed to be seen. So I'm just waiting on Attack of the Clones or Clone Wars or whatever the second one is called, and Revenge of the Sith to be on their anniversary, so they can put him on the big screen. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I guess I'll talk about some other stuff if I do anything. But for now, that's all I got. Thanks for listening. Comment your thoughts on Deadpool or the cost of concert tickets, like, subscribe, talk shit to me. I don't know. Let's get this engagement on this podcast going. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Bye.